While Xi Jinping hogged all the limelight, the spectacle was also a major milestone for the North Korean dictator, Kim Jong Un. Not in 66 years had the leaders of China, North Korea and Russia, then USSR, had come together. This was more than just a star-studded debut for the North Korean dictator. It ensured the pariah state had been mainstreamed, sharing the stage with the leaders of 24 other countries. This report tells you why the world's third important producer of nuclear weapons is now in the play when it comes to global politics and global political order against Donald Trump.
Wearing his trademark black suit and gold tie, North Korean dictator Kim Jong Un walked to the red-carpeted entrance of the Tiananmen Square, venue of the world's most watched military parade. And as he walked in front of the global media, Kim was part of the troika of Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin. This was not just mainstreaming. Suddenly, Kim Jong Un, the dictator of North Korea, was an integral part of a concerted global push against American President Trump, a show of solidarity, the three strong men out to counter the US, Japan, South Korea security cooperation. Beneath the choreographed spectacle, the move allows Pyongyang more leverage against the US in any nuclear negotiations. With the image of China and Russia backing North Korea, Kim may have more elbow room against the US. It could also mean that the Russia-Ukraine war may continue to get more cannon fodder in the form of North Korean troops, some of who have been awarded posthumously by Kim, with Putin's troop having the momentum on the battlefield. Continued support of weapons and men from North Korea could further complicate the matters for Trump. For Trump, at stake is a Nobel Peace Prize. For others, there is a grinding war that must now end after 3.5 years.
All right, now let's tell you exactly why the presence of Kim Jong Un really changes the global political landscape and also what is behind the Chinese-North Korean brotherhood. Let's put that out for you and detail and decode that for you in detail. Now, Kim joins the axis that is challenging the American dominance. North Korea has always been the one standing opposite America, but now there is a proper axis that seems to have come to shape, and North Korea is very much a part of it. And challenging the American dominance means that it allows certain leverage to the dictator. Next up, shares the global power stage with 24 world leaders. This is not just one single bilateral visit. This is a multilateral platform. There are EU countries, there are NATO countries here. Slovakia is a NATO country. And for them to then be part of this spectacle where you have Kim Jong Un as well, essentially mainstreams the pariah leader. He's now in global headlines, global photo ops, and being part of a larger global concerted push. Next up, it trades soldiers for strategic relevance. Now, this is something that we've been saying, that the Russia-Ukraine war now is essentially and increasingly relying on Putin's ability to be able to get more troops from North Korea, to get continued access to Chinese weaponry, some amount of funding that's coming in via the trading mechanism between the two countries that has really increased in the last couple of years, and the drones that came in from Iran, which is the Shahid drones. But the presence of North Korean soldiers, cannon fodder as you would call them, is extremely important and keeps Kim Jong Un in the strategic relevance of this entire relationship. Next up, brotherhood sealed in missiles and optics. Essentially, that's what it is. If you have been able to get one end of the bargain, then you become that much more relevant. Till now, there is a major security threat and remains, as far as North Korea is concerned. That line of access that China had still remains, but it's now not just about China and North Korea having a certain line of access. There is now greater relevance of Kim Jong Un, and that has been the big takeaway for the North Korean dictator from this visit. And lastly, sells loyalty and buys clout. That's the large part of it. It allows, of course, Kim Jong Un to be able to temper down some of the other major domestic criticism that he is facing with the fact that there is not enough food, there is not enough electricity, all money is diverted towards weapons program. They are one of the largest nuclear weapons manufacturers in the world. All that still remains. But what he does manage to get is more clout. And that is the significant aspect of this entire photo op that resulted in a big push as far as North Korean dictator is concerned. Let's now quickly tell you, in fact, to viewers, if you take off your blinkers and understand what's really happening, one may ask, is the world back to a Cold War era situation? Blocks being made. Except this time it will be China at the center of the alternate world order and not Russia or USSR, or at least that's what Xi Jinping would be trying to do. Well, the Cold War existed because winds of globalization had not swept through most of the communist bloc, which now have experienced the benefits of global trade. China is the world's second largest economy. It has experienced prosperity. But the three autocrats coming together mean one thing for sure, that the threat that the world faces from Pyongyang has only grown. Kim Jong Un now has moved from isolation to alignment very quickly. And with it, the nuclear threat from his country has also climbed manifold.